Yep. Woo! Yep. And this, folks, is why we have handguards. Hey, Matt here, and welcome to Mob Street. Now, tonight, I'm here with my 2019 TW200, and I'm going to tell you my top 5 mods that I'm going to do to my TW and why. The very first mod that I did and I would still recommend doing are some handguards. I'm talking like a full tang, full wraparound handguard that goes into the end of the handlebar here and then mounts again up here on the front of the bar. And then you've got your plastic protector, whatever it may be. Now, the reason that I say handguards as the first upgrade, for me, it was one of the cheapest upgrades that I could do. And when you're on a budget, those are some things that you have to look at. The other reason was because obviously when you're riding through brush or you're riding through varying terrain, it's nice to have those handguards on there to protect your paws from whatever you might encounter. The third reason that I wanted handguards was, and I wanted the full wraparound handguards, was because of crash protection. And even just today, a few hours ago, I ended up going down, me and my brother-in-law were out riding. We were coming down a pretty steep trail, and I just tried to use my gearing to slow the bike down, and it just started to skid. I hit my brakes, it started to skid even more, and I just slid until I hit a rock and just dumped me over. But thanks to my handguards, my handlebars didn't bend, my levers didn't get bent, and nothing on this side of the bike was really hurt. Price, protection, and crash protection. I'll put the link for these specific handguards in the description below if you're interested in these. The second mod that I did, and I would still do in a heartbeat, is the rear rack. Now, there are a few racks out there that you can get for the TW, and they are entirely up to you which one you want to get. I went with the cycle racks, rear rack, for a few different reasons, and the very first one that I've shown in some of my other videos are because I usually have my kids with me or my wife with me, and this gives them a very stable mount to hold on to. The stock rear fender on the Yamaha says don't put anything more than 7 pounds on there. I've had my kids on there, I've had a bag of fertilizer on there, I've had about 100 pounds on this rear rack, and it holds up just fine. I will have the link in the description, and I also did a full rundown video on this rack, and I'll put that link right up there so that if you want to look at that, you're more than welcome to as well. The other reason that I wanted to go with this specific rack is because of how wide it is. So it reaches out past the plastics on the back end of the bike, almost to the full end of the turn signals. And this is not only load carrying capacity, along with the handguards, it's also crash protection. And again, today, this rack more than paid for itself. I'll show you the side of this rack here. It's got a big old scratch down it now, but the rest of the bike remained just fine. So $40 here, $200 here, has saved me at least 4 times damage that could have been done to the bike. So now, modification number 3 is the foot pegs. They are extremely tiny, but I was able to put 2,000 miles on the bike with the stock foot pegs, and there wasn't really anything that I noticed while I was out riding. I was like, man, I wish those foot pegs were just a little bit bigger. And these are the Tusk Race Pro full aluminum foot pegs. We're trying to get those available from Rocky Mountain ATV for the TW. This is a prototype set, but they are awesome. Short intermission. The fourth upgrade that I want to do to the bike is one that has been in the making. And this is a little bit different from the last video on the upgrades because I've put more miles on the bike. I've been able to ride it, get a feel for it a little bit better. And the one thing that I have noticed is that the stock chain on this stretches extremely fast. So I've adjusted it quite a few times and it just seems like it's always, just getting loose. So I have decided that I want to go with a new chain, and with that I'm going to go with a 52 tooth rear sprocket. I'm going to keep the stock front sprocket size at the 14 tooth, but I wanted to gear it down just a little bit because the riding that I do is simply cruising around town, going on dirt roads, going on gravel roads, going up in the hills and just doing, just little trails and stuff. So there has been once or twice when I felt like I could just use a little bit lower gearing. So I've decided, I'm going to go with the 52 tooth rear sprocket, the stock 14 front sprocket, and then a new chain so that I can have that little bit lower end grunt. There isn't a ton of highway use with the TW where gearing it down, that little bit is going to really affect that top end speed. So still going to be able to do 50 to 55 miles an hour, which is plenty for what I do with the TW. So upgrade number 4 is going to be new rear sprocket, new chain, and a new front sprocket. So that video will be coming out here in the next little bit, so be watching for that one. Now, the fifth upgrade, in the last video I stated that I wanted the new skid plate, which I have ordered. It's on back order, so it hasn't shown up yet, but I think over that what I want to do is a new front tire. Now, the stock tire on this has the nickname the Deathwing for various reasons. You can look and see that there are a ton of articles, threads, all sorts of stuff written and talked about, with the Deathwing and what new tire to replace it with. So with the kind of desert riding or open dirt road riding that I do, I've decided to go with the Shinko 241. And this is the 4.1 by 18. So I'm gonna install this on there. The reason that I went with this tire, the 241 over the 244, was just because I do have, I ride it more in those open dirt roads, the open gravel roads, whereas the 244 is a lot thicker, meatier lug than this. And it's also a great tire, but the 241 just kind of seemed to fit my riding style a little bit more right now. So I'll get that installed on there and I will do a full review on it as well to let you know what I think, whether or not it fits my riding style or my riding or the current riding that I do, with the TW. So this will be upgrade number 5 right now because it seems to be something that I need more than the skid plate. So yeah, that's it. Those are my top 5 mods right now for my TW200. Now when I get some more miles on it, you never know. Those top 5 might evolve a little bit, and instead of this or that, I might decide, hey, I want a little bit taller handlebars. And for somebody who is taller, you might want some bar risers. You might want, a little bit taller bend on your bar. You might want whatever it may be to adjust the ergonomics on the bike. And that's the great thing about the TW is it is an awesome platform for each of us to start on. I'm going to leave it there. Again, I'm Matt. This is my 2019 TW200. I hope you found this video informative. And again, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, follow along, hit that notification bell so you'll know as soon as a new video comes out. And that'll be the end of this one. I'm Matt, Mob Street, and thanks for watching.